Hello, everyone. Allison here from the Spirit Maven Collective, and I'm going to be providing you with a brief description about the astrological influences for the full moon and prenumeral lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And as well, I will be providing you with a tarot reading for all the zodiac signs that will be relevant for the next 2 weeks leading up to the new moon. Now let's take a look at the astrology for today. Oh my goodness, so much yet again. This has really been an amazing season with so much sacred geometry in the skies. But firstly, let's just alert that the full moon and the prenumeral lunar eclipse is occurring on 5 May, so May 5th, and we have this 5-5 day, and in a universal 7 year, which 2023 is, this really brings an increase in the sudden shifts. So you may be really experiencing these shifts during the eclipse portal for one, and now with the closure of that portal as well. So you can, expect things to be like turning a little bit more quickly right now and to your favor. The rub there is, so if you have been working, towards your personal growth. So if you've been doing that, things can shift and really propel yourself forward. There's this acceleration sort of to the natural conclusions of, what you're trying to manifest. And the cosmos really is encouraging you to embrace, these new opportunities that may be coming up, the new experiences which you sort of looking at and say, hey, I might want to try that, to expand really yourself and to spread your wings and grow and just take advantage of the beautiful energies, the magical energies right now to um, just discover who you are, yourself, and your passions, your dreams, your life and soul purposes. And so now we are, with the prenumeral lunar eclipse in Scorpio, that nice, deep, emotional, and mysterious sign, closes the eclipse portal for this particular eclipse season. And really, there's so many influential energies like the 5-5 day in the 7 university year. It's the energies are really encouraging you to expand your higher consciousness. And so your connection in with the divine, in with the metaphysical, and, bringing that down again into the physical, into your daily lives. Um, and, you could feel under these energies right now that you're more aligned with your authentic self. And that's part of what this particular eclipse portal was about, was self-love, being in alignment with your authentic self. So what does that mean exactly? Being aligned with your authentic self, being true to your values, acting on those true values, your true beliefs, your core beliefs, um, that which makes your heart and your soul sing. So, really, this is what we're now going to be integrating after this particular full moon and after the eclipse for the next few weeks. Now, looking at how the eclipse energy, which still, will affect us, um, after the actual eclipse, is that, the as the earth is really blocking the sun's light, the earth is absorbing that sun's frequency, right? And the earth is being not bombarded, but cascaded on with all this wonderful, um, energetic and passionate light. At the same time, you have the moon receiving sort of like an energy reset in a sense. So Earth is blocking the sun's light to the moon. So, in this sense, it's like the Earth will be in this little bit of a dark, um, you know, period for a bit, where there's this sort of magical cosmic energies are rising up. So this, in a sense, if we apply it to ourselves personally, it's like our dark, those things that we want to change about ourselves, or those things that we're just keeping hidden that we haven't really brought to light, like say our latent talents that we have been perfecting over many lifetimes that maybe haven't seen the light of day during this particular lifetime, and maybe we should be doing that. And so, this dark is then being transmuted and transformed in the light of the possibility and the all-knowing, as they're represented by the sun. And, it's really, again, the cosmos is really encouraging us to allow this process to happen. Again, during that prenumbral eclipse, the moon, sun, and earth are not exactly aligned. So we get this illusion of the earth, the moon looking as if it's orange from the point of view of the earth. And so that orangeness, right, that emotional sacral energy coming forth. And so we're sort of, balancing those through. And again, with this particular eclipse, it was born in 1608, and it's a number 24 in this particular Saros cycle. And these eclipses occur every 18 years. So you may have noticed during the 2 weeks before the eclipse portal, as well as during the eclipse portal, certain themes that maybe you've experienced in April 2005 or April of 1987 have come up again. Maybe not exactly appearing in the same way, but certain themes were up to ask for you to really address and to find lessons and work out for your highest good. Now, if you notice here too, I've mentioned that this is the cross quarter day, the mid-season between the March equinox and the June solstice. So we're at a cross quarter day. Astronomically. So, we've heard of May Day, Beltane as a cross holiday. Well, this is the actual astrological point, astronomical point. So, what does that mean for us in this sense? Well, the cosmos is naturally asking us to bring ourselves into balance. It's saying really. Um, let's bring into harmony our physical and our metaphysical aspects of our life. We're also being asked to let go of over control. And that's the thing that humans like to do. We like to have control over knowing exactly where we're going, what's going to happen, what the end result is. When we let go of that over control, we can even allow for something better to occur. We can still take our action steps towards it, our inspired action steps. But and when we allow that surrendering to spirit to conspire in our favor, we're opening up the doors of possibility and opportunity just that much more. So, at this time, we can ask our soul for guidance on, this time period, at this, potency of a cross quarter day. And we can ask soul for guidance as we disengage really from personal drama and collective drama. And, that's really for our own good. Do we really want to be taking on someone else's circus, someone else's monkeys? We have our own that we can deal with and play with and enjoy. We don't need to take on that of others in the sense of it draining us of energy. It's different when we're helping others and assisting in a compassionate way. But when it's a drawing of energy without solution based, it really is not really for us. So now just looking, and we're going to try to go really quickly through because there's so much as I see happening here with the other astrology. We have the moon, of course, in Scorpio, and again, that's along that axis with Taurus. So beautiful, beautiful energies. Again, and again, thinking about connecting in also again with the eclipse, that this really is looking at, we've undergone since the eclipse in November of uh, 2022, and it's sort of an intensive assessment of who we are and a shifting of these long held, often limiting beliefs and patterns. And we're learning to let those go and in favor of creating new shifting patterns that are going to be for our benefit in our learning adventure down here on the earth plane. And the eclipse energy helps to give us that energy boost. And so being on that axis with Scorpio, the metaphysical, and Taurus, the physical, we can really bring that into play. So that's sort of where we're looking with the opposition in the sun. Now with the moon in opposition to Uranus, it's really again encouraging us to embrace what is a unique about ourselves. So again, that authenticity and what's different and wonderful, magical about ourselves, and really to follow that inner wisdom. So again, that connection in with the divine, and then shifting our belief patterns in the way in which we're acting within the world to um, present that self and present our gifts. And really, again, this opposition with Uranus is wanting, the cosmos is really wanting us to, or inviting us to serve others using these unique gifts and our talents that you love the most, that you're passionate about the most, that makes, again, you happy. Because life is supposed to be happy. And it's only when we allow ourselves just to sort of stew in so these lower vibrational energies for too long that we get into this bit of sadness. And again, this particular opposition can cause a little bit of nervousness and anxiety because there's newness happening, right? Where we really embracing who we are. And that's sometimes can be a little bit scary, right? If we haven't been completely forthcoming, or if other people out of envy and jealousy have shot us down. Well, but now this is really a time to show who you are, embrace that, and share that with the world. And so even if you're feeling that little bit of anxiety, the nervousness, you have the energies, all these other amazing energies to help boost us up. No, Uranus really does always wants you to succeed. And now Mercury, he's in his retrograde journey. Love Mercury retrograde because he really does help us with our communication patterns and assisting us in seeing where we need to course correct, where we can improve upon. And um, this is quite amusing, maybe, too. Is this particular opposition we have Mercury say, "Hey, go and reconsider your ideas that you're stubbornly clinging on to that don't actually serve you, don't really serve your highest good. Just because they're familiar doesn't mean they're benefiting you in any manner. So, see what are your belief patterns. Are they serving you in a good and positive, productive growth way, or are they limiting you? Are they holding you back in some way? If they are, do that whole energy ball thing, blow in that belief pattern, and push up, bring up another energy ball and say, hey, I'm going to put in joy, love, laughter, whatever it is that you want. Put that in to fill that void, because the universe doesn't like having the emptiness. It'll just suck back what was there, and so go forth, because this is all about again, you're learning and communication to and be in alignment with that authenticity. And even if you really don't know what might be holding you back, you can still do that energy ball idea right below it. Yeah, I don't know whatever limiting belief pattern I'm having here that I'm clinging on to that maybe I'm not aware of. Poof, blow it into that energy ball, release it up to the universe, bring down, make another energy ball and say, hey, I want the patterns that are going to be serving me for my highest good moving forward. Blow it in, bring it into yourself. Really visualize all that sparkling, lovely energy going in for you. And now we have Vesta. Well, the asteroid, is also involved in another T square that we will be discussing shortly as well. And it's really asking us to release or course correct or adjust any of the higher causes that you might be selflessly supporting, but that might be draining you. And if there's a draining involved, then that really isn't for your highest good. You're not really serving others in the best way if you're exhausted, and you can allocate those responsibilities to someone whom that particular cause is in alignment with. So then now moving on to Venus, and you notice that have that there's a square between her and the lunar goddess, and she is moving from Gemini into Cancer very shortly on the Sunday after the full moon in Scorpio. So some of these aspecting are still there, but she shifts into a different sign. So really, with this, the cosmos is asking us to look at where we can improve upon and sort of all those Venus themes. So looking at relationships, creative expression, and finances. And you'll see that these are themes that are really traveling through this particular full moon and the other sacred geometry in the skies, and as well as, of course, the eclipsing. Now Mars, being in Cancer and trining with the moon in Scorpio, so it's water sign, these emotionally bent signs, really adds a flowing, harmonious vitality, right? The vitality that comes from Mars, the flowiness of the water signs, to your full moon intention. So anything that you're celebrating or anything that you're intending during the full moon, where you're moving forward during this lunar cycle. And, under this, we may be really feeling the emotions more intensely than usual. So there might be some, explosive um, situations, but know that, again, you just need to come up and then they'll just flow along as long as you address it and, try to respond rather than react. And then that comes to the relationship that the moon is having with Chiron right now. Um, in the sense of really looking at, adjusting any type of challenging emotions, but also to step into our role as a wisdom giver and a healer. So again, go, linking back to past lifetimes and what we have acquired during these times. Now, looking at the T squares, again, we have all these wonderful relationships, these dances that are also interwoven because many of the same celestial players are in the different geometric configurations. So again, we have Avesta with Pluto and the lunar nodes, and again, that's looking at uncovering our special gifts and aligning in, really too with contributing our resources that we have, and then that are connected again with our soul and life purposes, really to contribute to higher causes. And then we have a really lovely T-square along with Venus and Neptune and Ceres, the asteroid goddess, of course, of the harvest here. And firstly, to start talking about sort of its relationship with Venus and Neptune, it's really opening up your eyes again to your talents and skills that you innately again possess. So, repeating about this because it is important that these talents and gifts that we have perfected over those many um, lifetimes, and really focusing on that language of the soul and the language of our imagination and our intuition to bring these up into um, our our lives to help us navigate, to help us make empowering and inspired choices. And oftentimes during this particular aspecting with, of course, Neptune still being Pisces, and that our daydreams can be precursors to action. They can give us some insight because we're a little bit more lucid when we're daydreaming. So pay attention during the next few weeks of what are we daydreaming about, because that can be an indication of really where we're um into alignment with our soul and our life purposes, and into really what we can manifest for our greatest good and our happiness and our success and abundance. Um, and so it's really saying, like, once you come up sort of with this idea of a daydream or of a night dream, to, follow through with that just step by step, just a one little baby step. And that gives you a little bit more self-worth as, hey, this is working. This is opening up other opportunities. Ooh, something more. So it gives you more confidence. And Venus really, again, in this arrangement, is helping you to refrain from the dreaded procrastination, right? That's what really keeps us tethered in like the stuff, sort of the mud sometimes, right? We can't really move forward because, oh, it's got to be perfect, or it has to be this way, that way. Taking those little teensy weensy steps, we're just doing at least something, and we're improving upon, and more answers and more guidance comes as we move along. Because really, as long as we decide and admit to that first step that we're capable of doing, it's that domino effect. More will happen, more will come in towards that success. And so, the cosmos are really wanting us to succeed because we help with their growth and their learning as well. So, again, then really, along with series involved, it's looking at, again, manifesting these inner visions, what we're getting from our daydreams, what we're getting from our night dreams. And with her initially in Gemini, we're getting that sort of the mental focus that's needed to manifest. Neptune brings in that divine inspiration, where a series really is looking at, hey, you can get the harvest, you can receive what you'd uh, have dreamt about. And this is also, it also is concerning, again, those themes of money, finances, relationships, and creative and artistic endeavors. um at the same time too, sort of on the flip side, uh some old relationship traumas could get triggered, and there could be like a little bit of sort of gaslighting. However, Sirius is there to help to give you that emotional support. So it says, hey, just look behind sort of what um, the actual truth is, because somewhere in between what everyone says is the actual truth. But find where you are, and again, looking at responding rather than reacting. So taking that time to pause and just to reflect. Um, and now, oh my goodness, we have Jupiter in Taurus, so expansive of wealth, of abundance, along with Pluto. Oh my goodness, bringing up again what is hidden, what isn't there, the treasures. And really, Jupiter and Pluto began this really wealth aspecting together, this partnership around April 21st. And it's going to be lasting for uh, about 73 days, and that's a long time. So we have this umbrella over us for um, abundance, encouraging this. And really here now, when they're working with the lunar nodes, is focusing again on those opportunities that are aligned with your life and soul purposes. Again, because that really is saying to you, when you are aligned with why you came into this lifetime, when you're aligned with a spirit and your soul coming through, you can but not succeed. It's there. And the access again with the Taurus and the Scorpio being there, perfect for money, possessions, wealth, power, just basically abundance and wealth, and in that material one. But again, the rub is connecting and aligning in with that spiritual area. So getting in through um connecting with spirit in your soul, coming up, trusting your intuition, listening to that guidance, and displaying and expressing that truth in the physical. And then Jupiter and Pluto again align with Mars, who again is in Cancer. So what's that saying? Mars is really saying to you, you can and you can be energizing and expanding all the areas that are maybe having to do with family, the home, security, emotions, or no, any shadow work, because we're in Cancer. So he's putting that Martian fiery energy into that watery, emotional, home nurturing area. And it's assertive action too on any of your successes and your empowerment. So again, pushing toward that part of the abundance. Empowerment and being true in yourself and feeling empowered is abundance. And really, it's also he lends a bit more energy to where your natal Mars is, like what the house is on your natal chart, too, when he happens to be in um, Cancer, and when Jupiter is in this type of relationship with Mars. And so then Jupiter is just expanding all these areas, and Pluto's asking for that transformation again, bringing and worships need to be made to lend to the wealth and success and abundance in these areas that are sort of, dealing with the family, home, our security, and our emotions. So isn't that beautiful? Really lends itself again with the eclipse energy. And now, so we move on to the mystic rectangle here. So again, we have some of the same players, right? We have Ceres now, still interacting with Neptune, but then we have the players of Mars and Pluto involved. And again, we have this really this particular geometric patterning is really looking at increasing our empathetic sensitivity. So our feeling other people. We're feeling how they're walking through life. And so we're sensitive to that. And while we're really emotionally sensitive with, again, the Mars in um, Cancer, Neptune helps to sort of dissolve that sort of, you know, intensity that may allow us to sort of fall into any of the lower vibrational frequencies. So, that this is really lovely that way. And so with Pluto being involved is saying, hey, let's set up a few boundaries here too. With any emotional trauma or any shadow, work and, in conjunction with series and saying, maybe, some old traumas might be triggered, but let's create an emotional boundary, or we can acknowledge what it's there, not spiritual bypassing, we can see it, but again, breathing, taking a sort of an observational standpoint where we can see, okay, how it, has this served us? What have we learned? And we can allow that pain or trauma or others pain and trauma that we may have taken on unknowingly and allow it to be processed. Uh, and yet, so the here we have that part. So with that healing part comes it. Amazing part. This is also again a beautiful patterning for abundance. And some people could call this. There's also the law of attraction um, in the uh, geometric form. Because the spirit is awakened and we have inspired creative um feelings. Our creativity is really pumped up, really to manifest our dreams again. So, that Neptune relationship. And we have the emotional power to manifest those dreams as Mars brings that in. Neptune is bringing that imagination, that visualization, our connection in with our creative imagination. Pluto and Ceres together again can be abundance and wealth, right? That harvest. Um, I always look at Pluto as a god of, hidden treasures, all those treasures that we, have within us waiting to come up. So, it's a lovely harmony of both sort of this healing and the sensitivity and the manifestation of this abundance. Um, Now then, once again, we're looking at the cosmic kite. Wow, so many to go through, but they're all interplaying, right? So you might be feeling quite a bit of these energies. So, just a little bit of advice: keep very hydrated if you can, and drink some mineralized water if you can, that are naturally mineralized, just to help that energy flow through you. And again, with that eclipse, you might be feeling a little bit heady because, we're being sandwiched in by all this energy. But when we look at the kite, this again is lending into that, Jupiter and Pluto wealth umbrella into the mystic rectangle, again, wealth configuration. And this is helping you manifest again any of those Venus core themes, because Venus is at the sort of apex of this. So relationships, creativity, sensuality, and money. And again, with the sun being in Taurus, which of course lends to Venus's natural sign and comfort. We have all those energies still at play. She's interacting with that as well. So, really, as she's moving into Cancer, this particular arrangement becomes a little stronger. So, really, then asking us to come from the heart, to allow your heart to be showing you the way in your decisions towards manifesting your abundance, manifesting your dreams in alignment again with our let's repeat this again, with our life and our soul purposes as shown, again with our lunar nodes. And the North Node really is saying that to us. It's really aligning with our life purpose. So then we will have that again, wealth and structure and emotional structure that Saturn is displaying right now, being in Pisces. So, wow, isn't that great? And of course, now I just had mentioned about the Taurus stellium, which we addressed going through with the moon's opposition here. And in addition to all of this is happening, on this Power 5 day, we have the peak of the Aquarius meteor showers. And, and what it's coming from, of course, the constellation of Aquarius. So our dream states over the next little while are going to probably be really strong. You might have either a very deep or a very light sleep, but they're full of guidance from soul and spirit. So it's would be really, wonderful to be, um, you know, keeping track of that. If you haven't really, with the Gene Journal, it's a great time to begin one. In addition to, if you're not really hyped up, you can't remember exactly maybe what you had dreamed, you can always do it as point form, just like little points of what you just remembered in the morning or what you're feeling. If you start tracking those feelings, you can then progress and grow into remembering images and relations. It's again just another muscle to sort of strengthen up. When we practice, it gets better. So, wow, after all that, let's go into the tarot reading for this time. So, Scorpio full moon and prenumeral lunar eclipse. So, the tarot is looking at our first question today. What can we expect at this full moon and at this prenumeral lunar eclipse? So what do we have first? Like, wow, I trust myself to see the truth. Isn't this, really amazing? So we have the Seven of Cups here. And this is looking at imagination, possibility. So really looking into everything we're, discussing too, with regards to Venus and Neptune, and that, but also the mysteriousness of Scorpio, right? That depth, right? We have the idea that sometimes when, again, the Seven of Cups comes up, that there is quite a bit happening behind the scenes that we're not maybe really privy to, and it's hidden from our view, so we can't see exactly what's there. So sometimes our imaginations are going to go a little bit wild on that. And again, we have those eclipse energies. All the aspecting is really triggering our imaginations, but also that, the possibilities, which is really, positive. And this too, though, Seven of Cups really does lend itself for creative projects, for, manifesting what we desire, um, you know, and really getting a clarity on how we're proceeding, because we can all, an additional meaning with this card is sort of asking the cosmos, asking source energy, asking spirit, our guides, the question if we're sort of escaping reality a bit or avoiding what needs to be done, and asking for that support to see what our next step should be, what our path is, or what we are avoiding. And again, that sort of stop procrastination idea, that we have within our astrological aspecting. So this is really positive in this respect. And then the stone that goes around the crystal, because of course we're using the Crystal Power Tarot deck here, is aquamarine. So this again supports us with, emotional wisdom, truth. We're in the throat chakra, we're expressing it. So again, this is looking toward, expecting ourselves to again find our authentic voice, looking at the creativity and possibility of where we're heading in, clarity on what maybe we're avoiding, and then addressing those so that we can move forward. And wonderfully, as our supporting card here, our clarification card, we have Queen of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. So how beautiful. Seven of Cups. We have that water energy, that Scorpio energy. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Again, that earth energy, the Taurian energy. Can't make this up, eh? It's just amazing. So really here you're learning about the truth. I trust myself to see the truth, so your emotional side. And then here I have everything I need to prosper. So we're looking at that throat and then the balancing of the sacral, right? We're getting all that wonderful emotional energy and that. So we really have that support here, that sensuality, that's very much the Taurus. So as we were sort of going through it to sort of see what the possibilities are, seeing the truth, that, this can represent a woman who comes into your life or is already in your life, who really is strongly rooted sort of in a home, knows who she really is, and it's really full of practical advice and supports her dear friends and supports her family that is close to her. And she naturally nurtures everyone's sort of like the mother nature idea, this holding and nurturing, and again, tactile, enjoying the beauty in life, again, those Taurian feelings and aspects. And and she, again, as said, this naturally nurtures everyone and everything within her circle of influence, right? And then as a situation, if we're, looking at that, is looking at excellent management, finances, abundance, and giving. So again, Taurian themes as well as those Venus themes that we had discussed earlier. So, again, and that whole wealth and abundance ideas that's happening with Jupiter and Pluto, everything is sort of manifesting towards us and with Ceres as well. So and also she lends for that emotional security. So again, bringing a little bit of that Mars energy too. I would say these two cards together really represent the lunar eclipse too. We have again a Scorpio moon. We have the Taurian sun, and it's all sort of earthing up us. So that bridge in the middle of having the metaphysical and physical on the earth plane. And then with the stone that goes with this particular card is pyrite. And of course, that is lending itself to wealth manifesting and your commitment to doing that. So, as long as um, you're committing, you are listening to your intuitive self, you are in alignment with your soul and life purposes, your alignment with your authentic self, you can only succeed. You will have that abundance. So these feelings are and these situations are coming up during this full moon and the prenumerable lunar eclipse and also going towards the next 2 weeks. So sort of watching out for these types of signs. Now for our second question, we're looking at how will the full moon and prenumerable lunar eclipse affect us? So what we're expecting now, how is this going to affect us? And we've already sort of spoken about the energies. So looking at the cards. So firstly, we have the Four of Swords. Like take the time to rediscover my vitality. Isn't that an interesting card to come up to? How is this going to affect us? So usually this is sort of meaning like this time to take a little time away, to withdraw a bit, to retreat from situations, from your usual responsibilities, sometimes taking time off work, or, maybe putting parts of your life on hold, like maybe say, oh, this relationship I'm in, I maybe just need to not act yet one way or another because it's not really determined, but to put that on hold for a bit, just taking a little bit of a break. This is really, though, a neutral card. It's not positive, not negative. It's more of this observation time. And it's a sort of like, okay, let's come. And that's what the now the closing of the eclipse portal has done. It's okay, we've learned all this stuff, it was really accelerated. Now what are we going to be doing with what we've learned? How are we going to put that into our daily practice? Are we course correcting? Are we committed to this? Oh, am I in complete alignment with my authentic self? Are my relationships in alignment to support me? Is the work I'm doing bringing me joy? So this sort of observing and this withdrawing from that sort of emotionally for a while, and observing and taking this time to see sort of that idea of moving out of the darkness into the light type of idea. And we've got all this energy saying, yes, we're going to be abundant, we're going to be successful, we're going to do this. And so you want to make sure that everything is feeling correct, right? It's feeling good. And so this gives you time just to take a step back to look at that. And so then the stone that goes along with this is sugarlight. And again, that supports the crown. We're looking at perspective as well as inspiration and endurance. So say if we're taking a little bit of a break from our usual responsibilities, we're just retreating a little bit, taking time out to reflect, maybe to journal if that's your thing, or to meditate if that's your thing, just to see, those themes maybe that have come up during the eclipse time, relationships or finances or self-love, whatever has come up for you. See how they're playing out and how maybe you can course correct, shift, or add to make the situation better. Or if it's working for you, that's all good. Just carry on with what you're doing. And then with the clarification card, it's quite interesting because we have another swords. We have 7 of swords. So to give clarification on what is retreating, what we're observing, here's this: I take great care of what I value. Now, often we look at this as a card of vigilance, of watching. There's this idea of protecting yourself and property. But what's this really sort of saying in this context is whatever you are really valuing needs some extra care and attention. And so having stepped back with the Four of Swords to sort of step back and look at what's happening in your life, the Seven of Swords is saying, okay, you really care about your family, your relationships, maybe your spousal relationship, maybe your new career, whatever it is. Well, let's give a little bit more focus on that right now. Let's observe, maybe not yet active, but giving that observation of what you may wish to do or how you'd like it to look at how you want to feel too. Let's look at not just the material, but how you're wanting to feel, because that's that abundance and empowerment. And part of this too is, whatever you value includes your ideas, your core beliefs. And it's just saying that's also too, maybe some of these ideas that you're holding for a while that maybe are not in alignment, maybe need to be kept to yourself for a little while until you have clarity on, oh, hold on, is this really what I'm want to espouse in the world? Is this really what I want to be expressing? Is this really supporting me? So, a little bit of that reflective time. At the same time, though, this particular card can be representative of creation. So that creative activity again of the Venus Mars, sorry, Venus Neptune, with the sort of Mars influence of the emotional value. But it brings in this out of the box thinking of, thinking, okay, as I'm again retreating and looking at these aspects of my life or my creative projects with the Four Swords, how can I create a result that I would Joey, so, or how can I look at this differently? Again, it might be something very clever, something imaginative, something that hasn't been thought of before. This is a time of innovation that Seven of Swords can bring in. But, again, it has to have that alignment, that passionate connection again with those lunar nodes, right? Your soul and your life purposes. And of course, being Seven of Swords, we also have a re-emphasis with the sugar light. So again, this I would say in this case more that inspiration for that creativity of also endurance, right? So almost like the commitment back with the Queen of Pentacles. So it's really, really giving you time to again get clarity on your perspective. So, wow, thank you for watching so far in this particular video. There's so much really to cover, and we tried to do this a little bit quickly as we could. But you can see they're all sort of interwoven and all equally as important to create this atmosphere right now. And so, if I hope you found the astrological information insightful and that you resonated with the tarot reading for all signs. Now, for additional messages, please watch the full moon and prenumerable lunar eclipse bonus videos for each individual sign, and that's for your sun, moon, and rising sign. It'll give a little more pointed message for you in particular based on those signs. And again, I thank you for watching. And if you have enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe because we really and truly appreciate your support. And if you would like to have a reading personally from any of the Spirit Maven Collective, please see the contact information below. In addition, we'd love to hear from you too. We'd like to hear what you are thinking about the videos, or if there's something that you would also like to see the Spirit Maven Collective bring forth on this channel. So, just make your comments again in the dialogue box below, your ahas and suggestions. It's always wonderful when we work together as a community. So, once again, thank you for watching. And remember, you are magical. So go out and spread your magic.